Welcome to episode 6 of the Down and 3 podcast. Me and Finn have some exciting news to
do we?
share.
You seem
Well,
excited.
it might be exciting.
You seem
exciting for us,
excited.
but exciting for us. Probably not that exciting for anyone else. But we got to go to Buckingham Palace.
Yes. Get it.
Spoke to a member of the royal.
The
Spoke to a member of the
fans
royal
are
family.
Throwing their fists in the air in celebration right now.
Basically, if you don't know, the podcast won us an award, so I got sent to Buckingham Palace.
Hey, amen to that.
Edinburgh. Anyway, what's everyone drinking then?
Ashley Birdseye.
I've got an Outland Badger Brewery West Coast IPA, whatever this is.
Oh wow.
Nice, straight from.
It's actually quite nice, to be honest with you.
Is that a little special or? Oh no, Outland's probably
I
queer,
don't know,
actually.
I've
Never mind.
heard
No,
that.
I've heard of Outland. I've had that before. What about you?
good,
What about you, Finn?
I'm drinking Little Special, the Saint Bertin.
Nice.
Little stubbies. These got me through my second year at uni. £3.79 for 10 bottles of 250. I think that's pretty good, and I've stuck by them.
Really selling it there.
They're French, mate. You know, I can't
Trying to get that
say.
sponsorship deal. And then I am on. Stella.
Where's the wife beater then?
I kind of feel like downing my beer for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I haven't downed
Oh,
beer in
get
ages.
it down in
Hang on.
3.
It's 23 minutes to 8 o'clock on a Monday evening, and Ben Avis feels like he needs to down a bit.
I'm gonna do
Just,
it
are you down with it?
for the content.
Oh, that is the name of the podcast, mate. Let's not forget. Why you look like
That
that?
was pretty fucking quick, to be fair.
Anyone else joining me?
You crying, mate?
Nah, I think
Make
I'll
your
give you.
tear up.
Bringing out the
on that one.
bringing out the watery eyes. Very refreshing.
Who is it, mate?
Lamb of water.
Is that your only beer?
I do have more beers, but it is a Monday night.
Why are you just down at the beginning then?
It's a bit fun, isn't it?
It's just mental.
Unlike you, actually, I have a job.
Bringing you like that.
I didn't fail 2 interviews today.
Brilliant.
Would you like to speak about that, Mash?
Go, Ash, tell us
not
your
really.
little.
Oh, well, actually, no. Why don't you
Idea.
tell us why you should be employed, mate?
Why should I be
Yeah.
employed? Well, I'm just I'm a great employee.
How about we pretend to be
Yeah.
the interviewer and you
You-
be
Yeah, I
the
feel like
interviewee,
as mates, mate, we
and we
probably
can
should
really
help you
see
out for
why
this.
he got the job, why he didn't get the job.
I'm telling you, that second one was going really well. I thought they did say so. It's not completely over because they said someone handed their notice in for a month and a half. So when I'm back, they said I've been vetted, so I've been thrown into some sort of form, so I can just.
Clearly not looked far.
I told the
far
hotel
back
to be
enough,
fair, they
that's the
said to just
problem.
contact them. I'm still looking
Yeah.
after in the movie.
Go back a few decades. Might be.
Did you
different
celebrate,
fact,
celebrate VE Day, Ashley?
Huh?
Did you celebrate VE Day the other day?
The E Day.
So he doesn't even
That's
know about it, mate.
well,
Oh, he knows as loss in Europe. That's why, not victory in Europe.
nice one.
Go on, should we we'll give you an interview question and see how prepared you are.
Oh, okay, right, go on. Fine.
Good fit. What's a good interview question?
Why would you be a good fit for this role?
What's the role?
Well, you
It's
tell
a
me.
rolling
Well, I don't
question.
know. Why would you be a good fit for it? mate?
Podcast, though.
No, it doesn't have to necessarily be that. Just this role.
Well, you can't really answer that one without a role.
Well, that's why it's not
This
got a job in,
role,
isn't it?
well, I've been infatuated with this role ever since I saw it, stumbled across it on Indeed. I've been studying the place of work.
Would you
and I
tend
just
to use
love
that
a passion
sort
for
of
this role.
sarky voice, mate?
Nothing sarky about this tongue.
I've got a good one. Can you give us an example of when you've had a conflict at work and had to communicate to resolve it?
I know I had conflict at work.
You know, you've got
Mm,
what was his name in the pot wash area?
Patrick.
Porrig.
Porrig, that was it. Porrig, you know, he wants to wash the dishes
there
one
wasn't
way, you want to
conflict,
wash
but
them
he
the other
certainly
way.
did like to discuss conflict a lot, starting with it was mainly around like the sort of World War II period. I remember him rambling on about some sort of Russian tanks or something. So there wasn't really conflict there.
Well, he wanted to go straight to the source, that's why. Primary research he was conducting.
Oh, well, it was a member of the Hitler Youth in the front of the house, so he could
Right.
have gone there as well.
Moving on from that.
Okay. I'm sure you deserve the job, but they just don't know what they're looking for, that's the
Of
problem.
course. Well, unfortunately, I've got turned up to a job interview and telling him that in less than a month you're going away for a month didn't really sway them to hire.
I'll tell you what it might have been, actually. I bet you didn't put Down and Free podcast host on your CV, and that might be why you didn't get it.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
Don't forget it. Top line, that should be.
Seen. I mean, there would have been, because not, they'd have been the next big thing. They're not having me working there. Especially if they'd just, I should have just showed them the cocktail podcast. If they'd have seen that beautiful concoction that I made you, they'd be like, getting behind the bar right this fucking second.
Imagine watching Ashley shake a cocktail behind the bar. If you can see him over the edge of the bar,
Slip out his
actually.
hands.
Oh yeah, fucking sweating. I reckon Ashley pouring a pint even, just like, I don't know.
I've worked behind the bar now. Well, it's Wetherspoons.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
fucking hell.
I've done a little bit of hospitality. If
they have
Wetherspoons counts.
great
It's not
hospitality in Wetherspoons.
The least hospital. I speak.
Hospitable. I think
Yeah.
that's the word you're trying to say.
Hospitality.
Yeah, but you've got the
Imagine
job.
having to be corrected by me.
I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Right. I think we wanted to discuss who is most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse, didn't we, Ashley?
Yes, we did. Okay.
You explain the scenario.
Right, so cities are gone. Radio silence. No more governments. The undead are everywhere. So we're desperate humans.
Can you
We're
wipe that
alive.
smile off your face, please,
But
mate?
how
This is serious.
Can I what?
Can you wipe that smile off your face, please, mate? This is serious.
You're alive, but for how long? You make one choice per category, 8 total. And I'll calculate your survival odds in percentages. Give you a character profile and offer tips to improve your survival. I won't do that, but you can pretend I will. So, your chosen mode of transport in a zombie apocalypse. We've got 5 options here in each category for you.
So before you say, so we got say our option that we choose and then a reason for it.
Well, I've got options here for you. I'm going to read off and then you pick one from there.
Yeah, but I think we should each give a reason why we picked that option as we say it.
Oh, yeah. Give a reason. Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Okay. So, Finn, we've got a 4x4 SUV, a dirt bike, a mountain bike, on foot, or a small boat.
Ooh.
For a zombie apocalypse.
Good question.
I'm tempted to choose the boat. Because can zombies swim? But no, I'm gonna go with the SUV, I think.
It's just broken out, so you don't know. Maybe it can. Maybe it can.
I'm going to go for the SUV, and my reasoning is, out of all those options, it's the only one where you're like enclosed.
Okay.
You're separated from the zombies. So that is my choice.
Yeah, mine. I think I would. Do you have to choose to say a different or?
No, yeah. Pick whatever.
Yeah, no. I think I would also choose the SUV. But
But if you choose the same as me, you're kind of copying. So
No, you can
I
pick.
could be a
Pick
sheep,
the
mate.
same.
Don't mind. But my reason.
I mean, if it's an SUV, there's plenty of room for all of us.
True. I feel like my reason's more thought out rather than just it's enclosed. I feel like you could use it as a battering ram. to mow down some of the zombies. I feel like I did
Yeah.
think about originally the bike because I just thought that'd be cooler, but
That is what I'd
Practicalities.
choose. I think I'd go with the mountain bike, even though
The
I am
mountain bike?
absolutely useless on a bike.
So actually, I think you should go for walking. This got to be realistic? You can't even drive a car, let alone a bike.
no,
You
it's
probably
a
can't even
mountain
drive
bike,
a
mate.
push bike.
Yeah, well,
I was a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Like
There's a dirt bike and a mountain bike, but I'd pick the mountain bike.
can you even pedal?
Well, first of all, if I
Got
picked
the
it off the
stabilisers.
well, I know.
Why have you chosen the mountain bike?
Yeah, I'd pick the mountain.
Yeah, no. Let me
Right,
speak.
first of all, let's pretend I can drive and I'm a great.
Oh,
bike
actually,
rider.
you've
I
got a
can
great.
ride a
You've
bike.
got a bet. Yeah, it's a good idea actually.
But I think with an SUV, you've got what, like however many hours of driving with the fuel you've got, and then you're finished. With a mountain bike, that could get you. That could last you ages.
Yeah, but what if you've got a big hill to go up, mate?
I'd hop off.
And
Take the
like
bike up.
we can siphon off fuel from all the dead people's cars. We'll be good. We'll be good. I feel like that's a bad choice.
Well, you don't know.
Now
You don't know.
reflecting on it, I think I agree with you, but I'm going to stick with my choice.
Yeah, Ashley just got
Okay,
the cheat
okay.
sheet next to it. It turns
Alright,
out that's the best
what's
choice.
the next category?
Right, so now you have to choose your primary weapon. So we've got a handgun, a machete, a
Finn's already got
crossbow,
his
a
weapon.
crowbar, or Molotov.
Say that again. I weren't listening.
So choice of weapon: handgun, machete, crossbow, crowbar, Molotovs.
Handgun, machete,
I'm
crossbow.
going to go with a. I'm going to go with a crowbar. I think.
And with the handgun, are we assuming we can get more ammunition or not?
Well, I suppose if you find it, but you're in England. I don't know how readily accessible handgun
What did you go
ammo is.
for, Finn?
Crowbar.
Crowbar.
My-
I think
my
I'll go
reasoning-
for the crossbow. You explain your reasoning
My
first for
reasoning-
going with the crowbar.
I thought about. I feel like the handgun. You get to a point where. Well, first of all, do you even know how to use a handgun? I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory, but again, ammunition's hard to come by these days. I say these days as if it's ever not been hard. Crossbow, I feel like, again, like, where are you getting the arrows for that?
Well, I will say my thinking for that was that you can reuse the arrows. With the
Yeah.
crossbow.
Oh, you
And
can, yeah.
let's say for the sake of the hypothetical scenario, you get like, I don't know, so you get 10 bolts of crossbow ammo, and you get 2 magazines of handgun ammo.
Okay. Still sticking with the crowbar. Actually, Ash, I'll let you answer before I pick apart all the other ones.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I think you might have picked second to Molotovs the worst one, because obviously Molotovs. That's
Yeah,
just gonna-
why have you gone at
One
least
thing
gone
got-
machete if you're going like
no, I'll
melee
tell you.
weapon?
Yeah,
I'll tell
well,
you.
I'd like
I'll tell
you could even like use the handgun as like in the same way you could use a crowbar. You'd have a little bit less reach, but I think I'd go with same as Ben as well. Go a crossbow, because you could even with a crossbow, even if you run out of thingy, you can make like a little bayonet or something. In the end.
Someone at ice cream.
I was gonna go crossbow, but now thinking about it, I'm gonna actually take away that answer. I didn't lock it in, and I'm gonna go machete. And the reason I don't want a crossbow is because they take a long time to like reload. So you shoot one zombie, then you've got to put another arrow in there to shoot another
Yeah.
zombie, and that just takes too long. And
But you could.
if you've got 10 arrows, yes, you can go get those arrows again. But if there's more than 10 zombies, then you've got to run anyway, so you lose all your arrows anyway. So I'm going
One
machete.
of your arrows strapped to the bottom or the front of the crossbow, and then like a bayonet.
Yeah, but I can just machete them anyway.
Yeah, but you get even less range, and then you've got like the option of long range with the
No,
crossbow.
I think I'm.
that's what I'm
I'm going machete because you've got virtually unlimited use it. You can sharpen it if it start getting dull. If it's a big old machete, you can still get a bit of distance between you and the zombie. And yeah, you won't run out of ammo. It doesn't need to be reloaded. Also, with the crossbow, that takes skills, and I've never used a crossbow. Whereas I feel like I can swing a knife.
That's what
Let's say for the sake of the situation, so you don't just pick stuff that you know.
Well, let's not say for the sake of the situation. It's you, mate. It's not like a train.
No, but even still, I'm gonna keep my answer. I went crossbow, but I'm gonna lock in machete.
Yeah, I'm sticking with crowbar. Handgun again. I think that's the easiest to alongside with crowbar. They like to break. They get jammed, or you just don't know how to operate it, and also you run out of ammo pretty quickly. Machete, I think that's probably quite easy to break. Well, not easy to break, but I feel like over time that'll break down and become a little bit more brittle. And also, in terms of sharpening, do you know how to sharpen a machete, Ben?
Yeah, I know how to sharpen a knife, so yeah,
I would say I do. Yeah.
Normal kitchen knife. It's not a lot different, is it?
No, have you got that ready? Anyway, my primary reason for the crowbar would be it's got multiple uses. It's not just a weapon; it can be a utility item as well.
I didn't think about that.
If there's any areas that are locked,
I suppose you can break in. Yeah. No, I think that's smart actually.
And also, it's heavier than a machete in terms of you can, it doesn't have the sharpness of it, but you can still do a fair bit of damage with an iron bar. I think it's the least likely to break as well.
No, okay. Next category.
Next category, your base of operations. So this is your little shelter, I guess. So you can pick a remote cabin, a suburban home, a school, warehouse, or a forest camp.
A forest what? A forest camp.
Forest camp.
Yeah. I'm going to straight away put it in there. I'm going
straight for the
school.
Yeah.
Not for any weird reasons. But if you think about it, out of all those places...
Wait, you went to school?
Yeah, you went to school. Just looking for stragglers.
Gosh, horror.
If you out of all those places, what it actually designed...
There won't be any kids there though, Ben. Schools are out.
Okay, yeah, I said literally for not any weird reasons. But if you think out of all those places, what place is designed to either keep people in or keep people out? And a school, it's got it's fenced off.
To be fair, think about Gilbert with all the green fences that they put up around it.
Yeah, fenced off that you can lock individual doors. There's loads of hiding places. You can even go in the PE room and get the javelin out, and you've got extra weapons.
That's a good point.
Yeah, loads of storage if you're trying to store food. So yeah, those are my reasons.
You'd have a kitchen as well, wouldn't you? Actually.
Yeah, kitchen. You've got vantage points. Some schools, you got multiple floors as well, so you could barricade the lower floors or something. But yeah, go on then, Ashley. What about you?
Well, after you put that argument forwards, I'm actually going to pick the school as well. I was originally going to go with the remote cabin, just thinking get as far out of the way as possible, stay away from everyone. But that is, actually, I don't know. No, I'm going to go remote cabin because I think even though a school is good for many reasons, you're going to be likely in the middle of a highly populated area of zombies, isn't you?
And the only thing with school is maybe too big as well.
Yeah, and it'd be freezing as well. Yeah, I'm picking,
how would a remote cabin? I suppose you could keep a cabin warmer than a whole school, couldn't you? Actually,
yeah, should make a little fire or something.
My
I suppose we do that at school. To be fair, really.
We've got three different ones, boys. I'm going for the warehouse. And that is because I feel like that is more secure than both of yours even combined. I
Yeah.
think like the if you think you're looking at schools don't have the industrial level like doors and locks that a lot of warehouses have. But I'm thinking like the one like the Amazon warehouses on the motorway.
Right.
Near.
So you wouldn't get a toilet though.
Would you not?
No. Well, they piss in bottles, don't they? No, they're not allowed to like go and.
Oh, I did hear about that actually. I don't know. I think it's more secure, and also with a school, my main thing of that was if they break in, I feel like you don't have a lot of time to react to their kind of thing, and also on the narrow corridors as well, you get a bit of a funnel, you get a bit overwhelmed from that. And I think I think it is quite easy to break into a school. I don't know. I wouldn't know, Ben. I don't know about you, mate. But
I think I think a warehouse is
Also,
a good shout.
One more.
Because also
point with
warehouses
schools,
probably
they-
tools and things as well.
yeah, they're true.
If this sort of zombie apocalypse was to break out during the day, I think it's quite likely that there could be some zombies that were just hiding in the school. I don't
Yeah,
know how
but
well.
Wouldn't you rather take on a load of
Hot.
kiddie zombies than people manufacturing men zombies in a warehouse?
Yeah.
Well,
True.
no, but mate, have you seen some of the drips that work in warehouses? I'm not saying they're all like that, but my
Shots
reasoning
there.
for the remote cabin as well. In my head, that's like a log cabin. I don't know
Yeah, I
if
think that
that's-
zombies that you're getting into that too easy.
Yeah.
Like it's alright until you get found, but if you don't get found, it's probably the best. But if you do, then you're screwed.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on.
If they get in there, you probably fucked yourself.
And like with the school, you could almost like set up traps. But anyway, yeah, move on.
It's not I'm alone, mate. Right. Okay. This is a bit of a weird one. But what would your mental health strategy be?
Oh.
Would you
Is that
journal?
weird? Is it weird? Is it in this day
Oh,
and age
I
for
don't
men
think
to
that'd be my
think
number
about
one
mental health?
priority in a zombie
That came off. That was
apocalypse.
category 4. I mean, I feel like there's still more. We haven't even talked about like rations or how you.
Yeah, that's coming up. It's coming up.
But they've put
I
in.
don't know.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Go on. What are the options?
This is the woke version of this. So we got journaling, an MP3 player. Let's just say some sort of music listening device. Doesn't have to specifically be an MP3 player, but it can't be like a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meditation, a dog, and a routine exercise. I feel like this is a fairly straightforward.
I think it's got to
I
be
mean,
a dog.
maybe between two.
I think it's got to be a dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Although then you've then got to have double the, as we're going to get onto, like the rations. But at the same time, I feel like that would keep you more sane than being on your own. For,
Are we?
And if needs
are
be,
we
you'd
talking
have
like
an
a
electric
Labrador?
rations right next to you.
Are we talking
I thought
like
you
a
were gonna say something else
Labrador, or like
a beagle.
like a German Shepherd? Are we talking something that could fight the zombies as well, or something that'd be more of a burden?
Yeah, like a little chihuahua.
If it's a mental
Taking
health
your hand
dog,
back.
I guess it's going to be like a Labrador.
A chihuahua, mate.
Yeah, let's say it's
Bichon
like
Frise.
it can't be like an XL bully, but I don't know, somewhere in between the middle of like a Chihuahua and an XL bully. Yeah,
The
maybe
two
like,
extremes. Any dog ever.
that's what I mean. It's like not like some little fucking ratty dog, and not some like big fucking
Yeah, not a
Break
dog.
shit
Not
out.
a dog you can boot like 20 meters. But yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah, maybe like a
routine.
Labrador, sort of like that sort of. Yeah, or maybe like a sheepdog.
I'm gonna go routine exercise. I think because
Oh, you fucking fan! What?
a dog maybe could be useful, but
Maybe.
can't
Man,
kill-
oh,
either it can't kill the zombies and then it is useless and it's more of a burden. You got to feed it, and it can bark at the wrong times and things like that.
That
and
is
get
true,
you
actually.
caught. Or maybe it
Right,
can
okay.
kill zombies, but it's going to die eventually, so it's going to be a burden. Whereas routine exercise, zombies, you need to be able to run. If you're physically fit, you can fight them, especially if using a crowbar or a machete. That's going to help. So that's my decision anyway.
I think your survival chances are probably just shot right down. You're burning,
they were
you're
low
wasting-
anyway,
wasting
let's be
precious
honest.
I could have gone with
calories as well,
journaling or meditating. Surely they are worsening my percentages.
yeah, maybe, but that's up there. Like, you wouldn't
Okay.
even think about the music.
You
Okay,
picked the
next
log
question.
cabin.
Yash, what are you going for, mate?
Right. Oh, I'll pick the dog. Of course.
Dog.
Of course you pick the dog. That's
Yeah.
I feel like that's an easy
My,
question. And if you hate dogs, you go for the music.
Yeah, well, even then, I think
Maybe
dogs
your
probably-
dog, if it's like your dog, actually could hump him to death.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know
Maybe.
what type of dog you want, because I wouldn't take either of my dogs, because Millie wouldn't do any. Well, Millie wouldn't be able to attack them.
Millie might eat them to death.
Yeah, and then she'll just lick them. Yeah, probably one that doesn't bark that much, because that would give you away. But I think the music is a jeopardizes you.
That's
No, I
yeah.
think it jeopardizes you, because
especially
put
if
it
you're
in your
listening to
ears-
Palms, because then you
Yeah.
might
That
die
is-
anyway.
The headphone's dead. Hang on. Get back in.
Gone. Sorry to interrupt.
There we go.
I had to get that cheap little dig in
Yeah.
there.
With the music, if you've got your headphones on, you're not going to hear any coming. They can jump surprise you, and you're done.
That is true. But you could literally just have your headphones around your neck or something.
Yeah, great.
Or have
That's
one
really
earphone
good.
in.
That's a really good listening experience, mate. Headphones around your neck.
Well, it'd be better than no right enough.
It's probably if it's what Ashley listens to, it's probably better around your neck. Did we all make a decision there?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Two
kangaroo
dogs
tea.
and one.
Ben's-
exercise.
Ben's going to do box.
Ben's on the he's on the Joe Wicks grind set, mate.
Ben's going to be doing the plank for 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Zombies coming up
The
behind
only,
him.
the one thing about exercising, what if you go too hard on the exercise and then you get attacked by zombies?
Strain the
and
muscle
you're
or something.
Screwed.
Funny,
Yeah.
funny story. Well, it's not
See
even
your
that
AC,
funny,
yeah.
but the other day we were doing a gig. This was 2 days ago, and every so often, my drummer Jake would just stop, or he would stop going as hard, and I'm like, what's he doing? Like, he's played this song 100 times. He knows how the drums don't stop there. And afterwards, he's from Birmingham. And this is gonna be a terrible Birmingham accent. He goes, "Remind me to never do arms before a gig again." Mate, honestly, I'm not going to do an accent better than that.
Yeah,
He
but
says,
also,
"Remind me
I
to
met
never
Jake, and
train
he doesn't
arms."
really sound. He doesn't really sound from Birmingham either. But that was a shit accident. But.
Remind me to never. Yeah, I can't do it when I'm listening to you boys as well. But yeah, so remind me to never train arms before a gig ever again. Because it was that was torture. Whoa.
Get a little arm pump.
Yeah. He was
Okay,
saving himself for the last song.
What's next then, Ashley?
Okay. Next up, we have your food strategy you mentioned earlier. So we have looting, got gardening, hunting, fishing/foraging,
You say fisherting.
and
Fisherting.
fishing/foraging, and bartering.
Ooh.
Oh,
They're your choices. Like haggling, like trading, I guess.
Well, I was going to say it has to be hunting. Or I was going to say to you, Ben, the other option was looting, wasn't it? I think that could be good, but no, hunt. Ooh, yeah. I think farming takes way too long. That's not going to work for you.
It's skill. You've got to have some
Fishing.
kind of skill and knowledge about it as well.
Yeah, fishing.
Well, that's
again,
what
I feel like you've got to be good at fishing. Like,
Let's say you have a basic, like each skill, you have a basic proficiency.
yeah, I know. But even still, like, I think with fishing, also like you've got to know, like, what if you get the wrong fish, or if there's not very good fish around you? There's got to be fish. Foraging as well. I think it's quite easy to poison yourself. So I'll stick with hunting.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of debating. Like, who knows, what you can eat and what you can't eat. But obviously, hunting, you went with the crossbar and crowbar. How are you going to hunt with a crowbar?
Smack it over the head.
Smack what?
Yeah, but
over
how
the
you gonna
head?
get close to them?
Whatever,
You're gonna
man.
be chasing after them. They're gonna be squawking, squealing.
I'm going to also pick hunting. I'm going to justify it because I'm going to say, with my machete.
Okay, maybe I won't pick hunting then. Maybe I might pick looting, because I reckon there's enough shops with enough tins of beans to keep me going for a fair amount of time. Oh yeah, I'll change it to looting.
Dangerous
Really, so there
game.
probably
mate,
needs to be
dangerous
a
game.
mix of all of them, doesn't it? Whatever
Yeah,
you
if you had to go with one. Oh yeah, because I can break into shops, boys. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, but
My-
you
my
got to remember other people are you're gonna encounter other looters. What if they're hostile?
Yeah, I think the problem with looting is also you go into like too busy areas. That's where like everyone's going.
Yeah, and you're gonna be in. Yeah.
So I think I'll go hunting, but I'm going to justify. I'm going to use my machete to get some branches to make a bow and arrow, and that's how I'm going to hunt.
A bow and arrow. Where are you getting your string from?
That's not how this works. You can't
My own
have a go at him
pubes.
for having a crowbar and then saying you can't hunt. You should have picked a crossbow. Mate.
Yeah.
Too late. Although you've got a machete, you can hunt with that.
Yeah,
You can hunt with a crowbar as well. Smack it over the head.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's as efficient
Right, what are you choosing then, Ash?
than hunting. I'm gonna go, even though I fucking hate fish and I can't eat it, I'd have to in this situation. I'm going fishing.
With a name like that as well.
foraging.
Yeah, but
Because-
foraging's fine anyway, mate. You just survive on berries. But at
Well,
the same point,
exactly. I'm gonna be sat there.
Well, here's
with,
the thing.
You know,
here's the thing: the berries don't come around in the wintertime, and do you want to be sat cold fishing for hours just for a meal?
yeah, a little fire or
In the winter.
something. Little fire.
Yeah.
But yeah. You got
With,
two.
with
You got
zombies
two
coming at you as well.
food sources there. My thing with looting is very high risk. Get into like highly densely populated areas. It's too risky, and plus you might get there, and the place you're looting might already be barren. Might be stripped clean already. So you're just wasting your time, energy, and getting nothing out of it. And relying upon chance. For fishing,
Oh yeah, but you say that,
my-
Ash, but
Really?
I think Liverpool might have just
Let's
scored
get your
last.
priorities right. How dare
On a
you.
Bradley was. What? Sorry, well, not what a finish. What an assist that was. Fucking hell.
Right.
You've also
I
got
can't
you've got to
remember where I
remember how many houses there are to loot though. You know, not every
Yeah,
single
that-
house is going to
But
be
then
looted.
if you food, you're going to only looting their fridges, which is most of that
No,
stuff. Not gonna-
mate, told you, tins of beans in the cupboards.
Finn's going to go
Yeah,
to
but
the
how
posh
many
houses
years
where they have a
do you
pantry.
get?
Huh?
How many years do you get out of a tin of beans? Like, do they last?
Oh mate, tin food lasts forever.
Tin food will last, yeah. I mean, it's got a thing on it, but it's definitely going to be better than anything else. I mean,
don't know.
I feel like it has to be a mix of looting.
Yeah, but you're going to be having
hunting.
say you survive for however long, you're going to have in 30, 40 years time, you're going to be eating 40-year-old beans. I'm going to be having nice fresh fish and berries.
Which you don't like, so it won't be nice.
Well, no, mate, because
I'll
you might
learn to
not
like
because
it.
they might pollute the water systems. and
I can
then
have
the
fresh
fish are all going to
fruit
be
as well
dead.
with
No,
berries
the
and
water
everything.
systems
I'll
and
definitely
like
pick them up.
animals would be like flourishing because
Zombified.
there's
That'd be zombified, mate.
well, unless the zombies eat animals too,
Yeah.
but if not, then nature would be flourishing. Right, next category.
Okay, wait. So just to clarify on that one, Finn's gone with looting. Ben, you've gone with hunting, and I've picked
What? Fishing.
foraging.
Fishing,
Fishing, foraging.
foraging / fishing. Okay,
Okay.
what's that? The sixth?
Right, next one. Group strategy. So, would you be a lone wolf, a small family unit, a tactical
Oh, you're
group,
not doing-
which
you're
is
not doing
3
it
to
a
5
family, are you?
survivors, blend with civilians. Shitty option there, but or no allies whatsoever.
It's got to be
I,
middle option, number 3, isn't it?
oh, what
What
was that then?
the tactical group?
3 to 5 people, I think.
That's what I'd go with, to be honest with you.
What about you? Everyone, are we all in agreement?
Would you take any of us in that group? That's the question.
Yeah. Why you got to try and survive?
Ash, you're getting dropped, mate. I'm not gonna lie. You're getting dropped.
Goodbye, right off, mate. You're gonna need more fishing and foraging, otherwise you're finished. You're looting.
My
Once your
reason-
looting beans spoil, you're finished, mate.
My reasoning for that was
When no, Ash is the sacrifice. We go run. We just run off and he's there at the back.
oh yeah, I'm taking you
He's
guys.
the sacrifice.
Human shields.
Yeah, nice one. You know what? Fuck you two. I'm not gonna take either of
And
you.
there's a lot. He'll keep the zombies occupied for a little while. He's got a bit of meat on him.
Yeah, nice one. You.
Actually, no.
Balanced.
Yeah, no, Ash, I might take you, mate. I might take you.
Oh, it was bait.
for the
Cheers,
fish.
Thank you.
Just just for the fish.
Oh.
And you know, tactically, what would you assign the other host as in your team?
Actually, yeah. Ash can be the bait because we'll just get him drunk, put him in the middle of somewhere, get him to he'll just start chanting Liverpool chants.
I've seen. He said he's living by a log cabin and wants build a fire. I've seen him get drunk and then fall asleep on the fire in a sleeping bag.
Think about it though. I could when I'm drunk, I could probably blend in with the zombies. I'd go undercover. They wouldn't know I was any different.
Great point. Great point. I will say, with Ben, the last time me and Ben were out together, not on a night out, like doing our walking, he did nearly kill me. That is the only downside to taking Ben with me as well. Mate, when we were climbing up, I think we've spoken about it before, but when we were climbing up Snowdon, and I say to Ben, I say, like, you go up before me, mate. Just I'll if you need help, I'll push you up a little bit. And he starts like kicking these massive rocks back at my head.
I was just making sure you're on your toes. You see, that's
I was
that's my role, making sure you're prepared for anything. Right, final category, I believe, if I can do my maths correctly.
No, we got two more.
Two more.
Okay. Right, this is your backup supply plan. So you have a one-time hidden emergency stash. You have a bug-out bag. I don't know what that means. I think that's just like a backpack full of supplies. Basket goods, ammo or meds. Solar gear, so recharge radios, lights, tools. Or scavenger circuit, I guess. So that means like a little network of scavengers, I guess, you can trade with.
I wish I. Repeat them again.
So you got a hidden cache, just like a one-time right. Let's say that hidden cache is going to become a supply drop. You get one big box for the important stuff. You have
Yeah.
a big backpack full with gear as well. That's another option. Even though they're basically the same. Barter goods. We'll sack that option off because that kind of ties into the last one. Solar gear, so like, I don't know, rechargeable equipment stuff.
Oh,
power
boys,
stuff.
no.
And then
A scavenger circuit. No,
Yeah.
a scavenger circuit is a medical device used in hospitals to collect and remove waste anaesthetic gases and other gases from the patient's breathing circuit, preventing them from contaminating the operating room environment. So I'm guessing that's...
So that's like stopping them becoming a
pretty
zombie.
sure in
kind
the
of thing.
context of this though, it's got a dash next to it. It says daily runs, high exposure. So I think it means like a circuit of scavengers that go, a group of scavengers that scavenge. But this is a pretty shit question.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think I'm going to go with the medical one, whichever. Well, the first option, that was like a supply crate with all the essentials.
Yeah.
Essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the solar one. Let's get the little solar panels up and we'll charge up, man.
Oh, actually, that's probably.
Solar panels. Oh wait, hang on. So we
Oh,
got.
no. Okay. Stick with my option, I think.
Hang on, I need to. Sorry, 1 second. 1, 2.
Well, think about, Ben, how much in your daily life you rely on technology. For that to
Yeah,
just
no, I
be
can't argue with that. But
completely obsolete. You know, you obviously don't have Wi-Fi or anything, but
what would you use your electricity for? Because if you're going to cook, you're just going to, you make a fire to cook. Lights, obviously,
Well,
lights would be the
lights.
best thing.
But you can make little
Yeah, so
torches
maybe-
out of like logs and stuff.
Yeah, but like having a flashlight that you can.
That's true.
You
But how
probably want
long
a
do you-
flashlight, wouldn't you, Ashley? But
How long is it going to last? And are you going to know how to repair it?
well, it's solar.
well,
mate.
if it's solar,
So-
then yeah, you could just keep
No,
charging.
I mean,
it,
like,
or-
how long is the actual... Yeah, but if it gets damaged or anything, or if it just wears out. Or you might need a
Yeah.
specific part you
Rest in
can't
peace.
obtain to replace it
That as
or
well,
repair it.
Yeah. What were you going for then?
I'm going to go for the scavenger circuit. Seems like a pretty good option. You have a group of people.
Yeah, but what if they screw you over, mate?
That is true. That is true. It is a bit risky.
What if they go the fish he's bringing into us, and they're rubbish?
But it's
just-
my,
Suck him off.
it's my backup.
He's only
plan,
bought us
so-
three black. He's only bought us in 3 blackberries this month. For goodness sake!
Yeah, but that's true. With my foraging, I'm going to be, I live in an isolated area, so I'm going to make sure they don't know where I live. We'll find a neutral meeting point. I'm going to have lots of lovely fish and berries to trade with them. And again, it's a backup option, so if I don't need it, I'm not gonna have to interact with them. Plus, I've got my
Fair
tactical
enough.
as well, who can back me up in case get myself into trouble.
Hang on.
Right. Last.
So, ooh.
Wait,
Wait,
what are you
before we
picking
get into that, I'm just having a look how many berries he'd have to eat a day in order to survive here.
But it's not just berries. I could plant strawberries, mate. Forage strawberries. I could forage apples.
Yeah, that is a berry, you know.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
It
you'd have to
doesn't have
have
to be
between. you'd need between 2.5 to 5 kg per day of berries.
surely that can't be true.
And
But,
even then,
yeah,
it's not sustainable. Ooh.
that's the breakfast. Remember, I've got the fish as well.
Oh,
I have
you eating insects, mate?
I could forage for insects.
Are you
No,
foraging
that counts,
insects?
'cause then I could technically forage for animals as well. But
No,
that's kind of
well,
Wait, I won't take insects, but you can eat some crickets or whatever. It's a
some
delicacy.
cricket. Yeah, go to the Philippines.
But I'm gonna be 2 for on lovely fish and berries anyway. Finest fish and berries around. I'm gonna cook them up.
What if you accidentally eat poisonous fish?
Oh, I'm in England. How many poisonous fish are there?
Then you're cooked, bro. Then you're cooked. That's how
That's
Luke.
true, but I think no, I don't know. I think you get very sick of baked beans very quickly.
Well, no, I could have like the canned hot dogs as well.
The what? Canned
Hot dogs.
Yeah, but they ain't lasting. That's meat still, even though it might not be, recognised.
Is Ashley
as,
is Ashley got a problem with you living off baked beans in a zombie apocalypse
No.
scenario?
Yeah,
when
he does,
when he
He
lived
does.
off craves in a real life scenario.
yeah, for like a couple of days.
That's a good point. How the amount of cereal as well, mate. You could have. I'm surprised you've not just gone straight for that.
Like,
Right, what's
I
the
didn't
last
think about
category?
that. Wait, Finn, what's your
look, Ash, mate, you
backup
are-
supply plan?
Mine or whose? Finn's.
Finn's got yours.
Yeah, the
He went for the solar
mate.
kit.
Solar.
Yeah, Ash, all your fish are contaminated, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No. My fish are. I've made my own lake. I've bred fish, and I've bred the finest, tastiest fish there is.
Bred fish.
I've bred them.
Scooped a few tadpoles out
I've
of the
even got
pond.
caviar. Caviar. Every
Change
day.
their DNA to to become fish rather than frogs.
Because let's think about it as well. I'm not be
Well, good point.
Ashley's
river.
rolling sushi while Finley's eating baked beans.
Yeah, I can fish in a lake, a river, the sea, wherever. So if I'm on the move, I can forage and fish wherever.
Ash, it's right, mate. If you want to eat frogs as well, you could eat them.
Frogs. Oh, they're even better, mate. I'll make sure I have a Frenchman in my part of my tactical group and we'll be fine. Snails. God.
Oh, I had snails again. I think they would have been nice, the ones that we had in France, Ben. Well, I say that Harley had in France. But I mean, actually, I had them in France as well. But just mid, just taste of dirt again.
Tasty.
They're not that. They're nothing special, that's for sure. Right, last
Right,
category.
right.
What's
Okay,
what is
final
the
question.
decider?
What would be your chosen communication strategy? We have a hand crank radio. We have a ham radio. I don't know what that. I think that's like a satellite radio. But obviously that would rely on signal. Where I don't know.
Would you even
I,
pork up?
offline phone with maps/notes. A signal mirror / flare gun, or no communication whatsoever.
Yeah, raw dog it. Get out.
I guess the hand cranked radio I'm going for.
I guess. Yeah.
What are you going for?
Oh,
I guess.
yeah. I'm gonna go for the offline phone with maps/notes.
What, have you got
Yeah,
the
but you
solar
can't
panel-
charge it because
panel
you didn't
thing
pick
as
the
well?
solar kit.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You
I
are
was thinking
cooked.
I can do with journal as well, getting on their mental health.
But if you had picked loot, you could go loot it from Finley, his solar kit. I maybe would have had it, but you didn't
No,
pick loot
he's got
either.
the support network until I cut him off. So I'll just
Well,
edge him.
I'm
I'll give it to him for like 2
I
weeks.
could scavenge a phone charger.
That's what I'm saying. I can.
Where are you going
I
to get the
can
power
edge
from?
you with it for 2 weeks.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the phone because I can charge it.
Okay. The results are in. Can you tell
What
us
did
who
you
the
go
most
for?
likely
You
to
went-
die then? Came
Right.
in third, or
So
who's
we
going
have.
to die the quickest?
I'm just gonna go through it one by one. Right. So we have Finn's Apocalypse loadout. So he went for the 4x4 SUV. Went for the crowbar, went for the warehouse, went for the dog companion, looting, tactical group of 3 to 5 survivors, solar gear, and an offline phone with maps/notes. This is his survivor profile. He's a practical strategist. You're part of a small tactical team with a reliable vehicle and a fortified base and a loyal canine companion. You've chosen practical, sustainable, and group-minded strategies, but with a high-risk supply approach. So, category analysis. So, your first choice, you've got a 7.5 out of 10. Solid choice early on, but risky long-term unless fuel is stockpiled. For your crowbar, that was a 7 out of 10. It's a smart, reliable choice, but you'll need backup in larger fights. Your third choice, the warehouse, you got an 8 out of 10. Strategic base if reinforced, and you can store supplies plus team sleep zones. Your fourth choice was a dog companion, you got an 8 out of 10. Worth the risk for both emotional and practical support. Your fifth choice, the looting urban stores, you got a 5.5 out of 10. You need to transition to a sustainable food plan ASAP.
That is sustainable.
I told you, see, Mr. GPT.
You just need to make sure
What's inside the tin of beans that counts, and if it's right, it's right. I won't apologise.
Right, that's a tin of beans.
I'm not gonna.
You just need to make sure you loot vegan products, and then you'll be alright. Need to make sure you loot vegan products, and then you'll be alright.
Yeah.
Choice 6, tactical group. Score 9 out of 10. Huge survivability boost if everyone stays sharp and loyal. Choice 7, solar gear. Score 8.5 out of 10. Tech savvy and forward thinking. Smart move. And for your final choice, you went for the offline phone with maps/notes. Score 7.5 out of 10. Quiet, low risk support item that adds direction and stability. So, I'm going to leave the final calculation. We'll come back to that in the end. Seems like you've done fairly well so far. These are some of your strengths and risks, however. Strong team dynamics, mobile and well sheltered, durable gear with long-term potential, mentally resilient with pet and useful tech, access to electricity via solar gear, risks, high risk of early death from looting missions, fuel reliance for SUV.
You're not seeing me, mate. Yeah.
Vulnerable to weather due to warehouse cold. Crowbar may not scale well in group combat. Okay. Right, Ben, your apocalypse loadout. You went for the 4x4 SUV, machete, abandoned school, routine exercise, hunting, tactical group, hidden cache / supply drop, and a hand crank radio. Your profile, you are an adaptive hunter. Ben is fit, mobile, and part of a smart tactical team using a familiar environment. A school,
is he?
Very familiar with him.
Fit.
For base operations, he's weaponised fitness, has a silent weapon, and relies on primitive sustainability and backup supply strategy. He prioritises function, flexibility, and long-term survivability. Category analysis. Choice 1, 7.5 out of 10. Early mobility advantage, good for group travel. Your choice 2, machete, score out of 8 out of 10. High survivability with proper training and teamwork. Choice 3, abandoned school, 6.5 out of 10. Solid if group-based patrols and choke points are set up. Choice 4, routine exercise, score 8.5 out of 10. Strong long-term resilience, keeps the mind and body sharp. I have to disagree on that one. I think you've been given way too nice a score on that one.
Yeah, can you factor in the dyslexia, please?
Option 5, hunting, 7.5 out of 10. Great if in rural or wooded areas, risk of injury when alone. Choice 6, tactical group, score 9 out of 10. Boost survival and combat, defense and morale. Choice 7, hidden cache / supply drop, score 7 out of 10. Bonus points if it's well hidden and strategically placed. And choice 8, hand crank radio, score 7.5 out of 10. Passive advantage could provide key intel on the safe zones or outbreak. Oh,
Right.
strength.
I feel like we don't need to go through every single one.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave you strengths.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just cut stuff out. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
Yeah,
say we.
I'll cut it.
Ash can.
Okay, so my apocalypse loadout, I went for the mountain bike, crossbow, remote cabin, dog.
Already dead.
Fishing and foraging. Tactical group.
There's a
scavenger
horde of
circuit.
zombies. Ashley's trying to
Pedal away
pedal
from him.
away, and he falls off around the corner, and just gets eaten alive.
And offline phone with maps/notes. Survivor profile. I am a quiet ranger. You're a stealthy, woods-savvy survivor operating from a remote cabin, living off nature and a trusted team and a loyal dog. You prefer silent kills and tactical mobility. You avoid cities, stay low profile, and play the long game. You're precise, patient, and prepared. So I went for option 1, mountain bike. Score 8 out of 10. Great for quiet travel and recon, but risky if
Get
overburdened
out.
or in high threat
Mate.
zones. Choice 2, crossbow, 7.5 out of 10. Excellent for your quiet survival style. Must retrieve bolts or craft more. Option 3, remote cabin. Score 8.5 out of 10. One of the best bases for long-term survival, especially with foraging and a group. Choice 4, dog companion. Score 8 out of 10. Big emotional and practical asset in the wilderness. Choice 5, fishing and foraging. Score 8 out of 10. Ideal fit for your rural setting, mainly supplement in winter. Choice
Okay, we're gonna
6,
beat my
tactical group,
Ashley
9 out
here
of 10.
with
Best group
mountain
size.
Hang on.
Choice 7.
I swear ours was giving us like 8 out of 10s for the tactical group, not even 9 out of 10s.
No.
This is.
I don't think
No.
so. I don't know if it factors in your other choices as to how well it fits.
Okay,
but
carry on. Yeah,
no
carry on.
cheating. No cheating going on. Score 9 out of 10. Choice 7. Scavenger circuit. 6.5 out of 10. Risky long term, better suited for early stage or when mixed with passive strategies like foraging. Choice 8, offline phone with maps and notes. 7.5 out of 10. Helpful sport tool, especially with solar charging or backup power. Okay, so who do we think, based on the results you just heard, who do we think has the highest survival
I
percentage?
feel like you had the most high numbers, but
Or do we have recency bias there, Ben? That's the
that
question.
might be it. Might be it. Yeah, I'm gonna say you just from what I've heard, but I think could be right.
Yeah, out of my own thoughts of what you picked, Ash, I think you're dying first, mate. That bike is such a death
I'm
trap.
going to whiz off on that bike, trust me.
Whizzer.
Even. Okay, so
Right,
we think
Definitely
pick me.
falling off the first corner.
Right, okay, so I would like to announce that there is in fact only, I believe, 5% in all three of ours survival chances from the worst to the best.
Ooh.
So
Whoa.
we're all fairly well equipped to survive a zombie apocalypse. So we'll go back up to Ben's. No, we're going to start with Finn's. Finn, your survival chances are, when I can find them.
100% mate. Have you not met me?
Your
Survivalist
final
or
Building the
calculation of
suspense
your
here.
survival score is 80%. So
Yeah, I didn't know.
you're fairly likely to what I think. And then next
4 and
one,
5
we
Do you,
got-
chances.
do you, well, we'll go off that. Do you boys think that's accurate? Not even in terms of my choices, but in terms of
what, being able to survive a zombie apocalypse?
hmm.
Yeah, definitely not.
Mm,
No, I'd lower
Definitely not.
lower the chances to about 4%. I don't think any of us are going to survive. the
Reduce
apocalypse.
your expectations to 0.
Hey, listen, if the crackheads
Right,
of
next.
Leicester get into your car, God knows what these zombies are going to do.
that's a
Mate.
good point.
I've not caught them yet. Once I catch them,
Have you
How
installed
have they
like a
broken
camera?
in? Like,
welcome, Adam.
Like a dash
I
cam?
don't know. I've got no idea
and how do you
Um,
know they've been? How you know you've been breaking in?
because all my stuff gets like chucked everywhere.
Have they
Then right.
taken
Have they
anything? Or
Oh, mate, you're not going to believe it, but I had about 5 coins accumulate into about £1, in my little tray.
No.
and that has been removed from my car,
Oh,
not by
dear.
me or anybody else that I know that has been in my car. So
Has it been? Is
Yeah,
they
down
just taking it for like a joyride then or something?
no, they've not been able to steal it or anything, mate. They've just been able to break into it and then go through the side pockets.
The looter's been looted. How
Yeah,
ironic.
mate, maybe we are in a maybe this is a zombie apocalypse right now. Maybe we're living through it. We just don't know it.
Maybe.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Where's
Ben.
Nigel?
Moving on to your survival score. Final calculation. Your survival score is 84%.
Get out, right?
Oh.
So you are 4%.
So that means Ashley's won though, because you said it's all within 5%. So you've got. Oh
Which
wait, unless you've got
means,
79.
Most likely to survive. Oh yeah, true. But no.
Yeah.
Okay, it's him then.
So my final calculation is 85%. My survival score. So by one, beat you by 1%. But safe to say, according to ChatGPT, the most reliable of sources, we're all fairly likely to survive a zombie apocalypse.
I'm surprised you've
Brilliant.
managed to survive university. let alone-
He hasn't yet, mate.
Well,
He has,
that
he's
is
only in
true,
second
yeah.
year. I've
sure, I've got
come
one
out
more
clean
year.
on the other side. I'm
He's
in
barely
I'm
survived, you know, a holiday, let alone a zombie apocalypse.
Hey, listen.
We'll give you this one though, Ashley. You've won it fair and square.
Come on. I actually think I might have made up the points on the bike. To be honest with you. I got an 8 out of 10. on
Well,
the
you
bike.
beat me by 1. What did you beat?
Yeah, you guys got 7.5 for the SUV, and I got an 8 on the bike.
Yeah, right.
So that would have been
This is
my.
what
That's how we know it's
This just
chalk it
This-
all off.
this just gave me newfound faith in the human race. AI is not good enough.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Right, I think we should call it a day
Are we
then.
finished for today, or are we moving on to?
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, we've got.
No,
a good,
we are not. We've been going for nearly 2 hours.
I mean, 15 minutes of that was Ashley trying to turn his camera on or something.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, it should be. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
We will.
No, I feel like that was a fairly good episode.
Thank you. Whoa, we're not finished yet, boy. We're not finished yet.
Oh, he's not finished.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the
Near future.
zombie apocalypse. What the hell?
Oh, spooky. Bye bye.
Bye bye.